What's up, YouTube? Two movies here. Now, Netflix sometimes could be a hit or miss with their films, but 2024 or 2023, I meant, had some really good films from them, and 2024 looks like it's going to be no exception. I mean, I'm pretty sure in the coming weeks, Netflix will probably drop some sort of video talk about their new releases of 2024. But I'm actually going to do my own vid of talking about the films that are set for release. Now, there are probably going to be some documentary films, coming, which I don't really talk about too much. But there are probably going to be some other like documentaries, but these are like most of the narrative features and stuff like that. So here are the films that are slated to premiere on Netflix in the coming year. Now, this week we got Society of the Snow, which is a survival thriller directed by Jurassic World Dominion Fallout director, um, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom director. My bad. Jay Bonona, and it's about the 1972 Endless Flight disaster. It is based on a book of the same name, and the trailer for this looks really intriguing. I like Jay Bonona. He did a really. I actually did not mind Fallen Kingdom far better than Dominion, that's for sure. Um, and of course, he did do The Impossible, which was pretty good too, and A Monster's Call. So he has a really good stuff on his plate. So this could be interesting to check out. Also, we got a film called Good Grief, which stars and is directed by Dan Levy, who you might know from Schitt's Creek fame. It stars Luke Evans, Himesh Patel, David Bradley, Ruth Arnea. It's about a man struggling to cope with the deaths of his husband and mother. Um, Travels with his two best friends to Paris for a weekend getaway. And the trailer for this looks very touching. I like Dan Levy. Himesh Patel, I think, is great. Luke Evans is always terrific. This looks like to be a. This definitely is. You're gonna need some tissues for it just from the trailer alone. So now the following week we got the Netflix movie Lift, which stars Kevin Hart and follows a master thief and her ex boyfriend who teams to steal 100 million in gold billion being transported on a 777 passenger flight. And the trailer for this looks a lot of fun too. You got Gugu Mafara, Vincent D'Onofrio's in this, Gene Reno, Sam Warrington. This definitely has some little Fast and Furious vibe here, and definitely a little bit of a talent job vibe. Which, funny enough, this is from the same director, so this could be intriguing to see. Now, the following week, got a movie called The Kitchen coming out. Has no relationship with that terrible Tiffany Haddish, Melissa McCartney gangster film that got released a couple years ago. Who remembers that? Holly, no one did. And it's directed by Dana Kaluuya, and it's a dystopian feature London where all social housing have been eliminated. Izzy and Benji fight to navigate the world as residents of the Kitchen, a community that refuses to abandon their home. And the trailer for this looks like to be really interesting. I like this. The sci-fi element sounds really cool. Definitely getting a bit of like a Blade Runner vibe here. It could be a strange say. Now, coming in February, we got Orion and the Dark. Now, there could always be other films like these are the ones that actually have release dates. There could always be some Netflix movie that could slip in February, but the first one we got in February is called Orion and the Dark. The thing Orion fears the most is the dark. When the embodiment of his worst fears pays a visit, Dark whisks Orion away on a roller coaster ride around the world to prove there is nothing to be afraid at night. And this is, of course, from DreamWorks, features the voices of Jacob Tremblay, uh, Paul Walter Hauser. This looks like it could be really interesting. Looks pretty cute, charming. Looks very terrifying for a DreamWorks film. So I think this could be a dream check out. All right, now in March we got the new sci-fi movie Spaceman, which stars Adam Sandler, Carey Mulligan, Paul Dano, Kanuna, you might know as Raj from Big Bang Theory. This is from like the same guy who gave us Chernobyl, and it stars Adam Sandler as an astronaut sent on the edge to the galaxy to collect mysterious ancient dust. Finds his earthly life falling to pieces. He turns to the only voice who can help him try to put it back together. It just so happens belongs to a creature from the beginning of time, lurking in the shadows of the ship. And the trailer for that, like they did drop like a little teaser, not really anything to go by, but the teaser does look really interesting. Really nice to see Adam Sandler really branching out into the dramatic territory because as much as I love when he does comedy, Sandler knows how to do dramatic. We've seen it with Uncut Gems, Punch Drunk Love, Reign Over Me, most recent Hustle. So it looks like he's gonna really branch out into another dramatic territory, and has not really seen him do like a sci-fi dramatic film. I mean, yes, Pixels is a sci-fi, but that's a sci-fi comedy, really. But nothing like a level like let's say Gravity or something like that. So this, I don't know, it could be interesting to say. Also in March, we got a movie called Damsel about this damsel who agrees to marry a handsome prince, only to discover it was all a trap. The royal family recruited her as a sacrifice to repay an ancient debt. She is then thrown into a cave with a fire breathing dragon, having to solely rely on her wits and wills to survive. It stars Millie Bobby Brown, Nick Robinson, Angela Bassett, Ray Winstone, and Robin Wright. And this is from the same guy who gave us 28 Weeks Later, that Clive Owen horror film Intruders, like that came out years ago. Um, and the trailer for this looks like be a lot of fun. I like the fantasy elements. The visuals looks cool. Really nice seeing Millie Bobby Brown branching out outside of Strange Things. So hopefully this could be an interesting role for her. All right, now coming in April, we got Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver. I was actually interested in seeing Rebel Moon Part 2, but after watching the abysmal that was Rebel Moon Part 1, I don't know if I'm all that excited for Part 2 now. Who knows? Maybe it'll come out be better than the first film. I mean, I have seen like sequels, two films that was pretty terrible, and the sequel turns out to be better. So maybe the same will be said with this. But yeah, I don't know if I really have much hopes here, but we'll see. I mean, I do like Zack Snyder. His first and only movie that I truly disliked was Rebel Moon. Could this be the second Zack Snyder film I dislike? Who knows? Now, films also coming out that just don't have release dates. We got Beverly Hills Cop Axel F, which is coming out in the summer. There's no actual release date for it. After the death of an old friend, Detroit Police Department Lieutenant Axel Foley, played by Eddie Murphy, returns to Beverly Hills to investigate a corruption within the Beverly Hills Police Department with his estranged daughter and her ex-boyfriend. It also features Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Taylor Page, Kevin Bacon, with other returning cast members like Judge Reinhold, Paul Reiser, John Ashton, and of course, I love the original Beverly Hills Cop, so I cannot wait to check out this new one. It looks a lot of fun. Eddie Murphy looks like he still has it, so I'm definitely excited to check this one out when it premieres. All right. We also got a sci-fi sequel. We also got a couple of other sequels coming out this year too on Netflix. We got Code 8 Part 2, which stars Stephen and Robbie Amell. Of course, Stephen Amell you might know from Arrow fame. Robbie Amell's been like The Flash. He's also on that Amazon show Uploaded, I think it's called. And this is a follow to the 2020 sci-fi film and centers around 4% of the people living in fictional Lincoln City who possesses social abilities. It follows the journey of a teen girl fighting to get justice for her slain brother at the hands of corrupt police officers. After becoming a witness to the cover-up, she becomes a target and enlists the help of an ex-con and his former partner in crime. Now, I actually did watch the first film. I was not really too impressed. So I don't know if I'm all that interested in this one. But hey, really nice to see Stephen Amell doing more stuff after Arrow. I really quite like that show he did, Heels. It's a shame it got canceled, but it was, I guess. Another sequel coming out, we've got The Old Guard 2, which I think this actually has a title now. I was like looking up, should have wrote the title down before I made this video. Now, of course, this is the Old Guard 2. This is, of course, a sequel to the 2020 film with Charlize Theron. No, it does have a title. I have for some reason I could have sworn I saw like a title attached here. Anyway, maybe it's just like a working title, room title. But anyway, now the first film, of course, stars a team of immortal mercenaries on a revenge mission. The follow-up essentially featured the likes of Charlize Theron, Kiki Lane, Shuita Ejiofor, with newcomers like Uma Thurman and Henry Golding. Now, I actually quite enjoyed the first Old Guard. I'm interested in seeing where they're going to take the sequel to. Charlize Theron is always terrific. She's always fierce. So hopefully, the sequel will be as good. Maybe it will be the next Extraction 2. Who knows? But we'll see. All right. Now, we also got a couple of other stuff. Like, we got Unfrosted, the story of Pop Tart. This is directed and starring Jerry Seinfeld and features the likes of Melissa McCartney, Amy Schumer, Hugh Grant, James Marsden, Thomas Lennon, Bobby Monahan, Maria Bakalova, and loads of others. Kellogg's and Post Customers brand compete to see if they can produce a breakfast pastry before the other in 1963 Michigan. Now, of course, this was announced a couple of years ago, and Jerry Seinfeld, I mean, obviously, comedy legend there, going all the way back to Seinfeld. Seeing him direct this, that's going to be really cool. I mean, a movie about Pop Tart, yeah, sounded dumb, but hey, a movie about Facebook sounded dumb too, and Social Network was one of the best films of that year. So, hope maybe the same would be said with this. We, of course, been seeing like a trend of films based on like products. Whether it's, of course, last year alone, we had a movie about BlackBerry, Tetris, the Beanie Babies. So, I don't know, this is going to be interesting to see. And Jerry Seinfeld, obviously, one of the funniest comics there is. So, this could be interesting to see. All right. Also, we got a movie called Family Affair. This is directed by Richard Grefson, who directed films like Freedom Riders and The Fisher King, and stars Nicole Kidman, Zac Efron, Joey King, Liza Koshy, and Kathy Bates. It's about a young woman named Zara who works as an assistant for her movie star Chris Cole. That is until Chris falls in love with her mother. Now, of course, they don't have like a full-on trailer, but they did show like a little. I think it was last year Netflix did like this big tease of their films from last year, because this was supposed to come out in 2023, but obviously because of the actor strike, they bumped it up. And this is actually one of the teasers that was actually featured in that featurette, and it looks like it could be really decent. I mean, Zac Efron, I love Zac Efron. Of course, Iron Claw is my favorite film of the year. I think Zac Efron is always terrific, so I think this could be interesting to check out. All right. Speaking of Joey King, she has another film coming to Netflix called Uglies, which is directed by Mick G, who just directed the Jennifer Garner film Family Switch. It also features Keith Powell, Chase Stokes, and Laverne Cox. The plot centers on a future post-apocalyptic dystopian society. So, I don't know, another dystopian film could be cool. I mean, I like Mick G. Of course, he gave us like Charlie's Angels, the Babysitter movies. I'm hoping we get another Babysitter film. Maybe we'll hear some new, maybe Babysitter 3 will come out next year. Fingers crossed. We can only hope, I guess. But still, I'm definitely excited for this nonetheless. This does sound, not too excited, but this does sound like it'd be really interesting to see. And Joey King has a great relationship with Netflix thanks to the Kissing Booth films. She does some other stuff here and there for them. So, I don't know, this could be interesting to check out. All right, following her trend for Netflix, Lindsay Lohan has a movie coming out this year called Irish Wish. Of course, she did do that Falling for Christmas, which I actually found to be pretty charming. Of course, I actually saw Lindsay Lohan in person at the premiere for this film, or for Falling for Christmas. But anyway, Irish Wish. Here's what the synopsis is. When the love of her life gets engaged to her best friend, Maddie puts her feelings aside to be a bridesmaid at their wedding in Ireland. Days before the pair are set to marry, Maddie makes a spontaneous wish for true love, only to wake up as a bride to be, with her dream seeming to come true. Maddie soon realizes her soulmate is someone entirely. Now, no release date yet, But if I had to make a prediction, I could totally see this premiering maybe next month or March. I mean, around St. Patty's Day, I could totally see that happening. This does look like it'd be interesting. I love Lindsay Lohan. I'm glad to see her making a comeback here. 'Cause I've been a fan of Lindsay Lohan. Going all the way back to Mean Girls, Freaky Friday. So really happy to see her. Like I of course saw her in person. Like I said, I saw her in person, and she looks a lot a lot healthier, and she seems like more interactive with folks as well. I'm always happy to see a comeback story. I love for Amanda Bynes to make a comeback, but I don't know, with everything going on with her, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But anything's possible, I guess. All right, we also got a comic coming out called Players, which is directed by Trish C, who directed one of the Pitch Perfect movies. I believe the third one, if I'm not mistaken. Now, this stars Gina Rodriguez. Speaking of Liza Koshy is in this. Tom Ellis, aka Lucifer, and Damon Wayans Jr. And here's what's about. Oh wait. Okay, kind of screwed up on something here. Close. Netflix plot. All right. Now this film pretty much is a little similar to Will Smith's Hitch about hold on. I accidentally screwed up here. I accidentally wrote the same. Okay. Let me go and just Google what and tell you what the film is about. Oh boy, kind of screwed up in this one. Hold on. There's Gina. All right, yeah. Just for the sound of it, it's definitely linked to the Will Smith film Hitch. And it is about New York sports writer Mac, played by Gina Rodriguez, and her friend Adam, played by Damon Wayans Jr., along with the crew, have spent years crafting successful hookup plays. However, when Mac unexpectedly falls for one of her target, played by Tom Ellis, they must learn what it means to play for keeps. So yeah, that actually does sound like it'd be really interesting. It definitely sounds a little bit like Hitch in a weird way. I like Damon Wayans Jr. He's always hilarious. So hopefully this could be an interesting one here. Now we also got another comic coming out called Incoming, which which stars Mason Thames from the Black Phone fame, Grey's Anatomy actor Barbara Surali, Raymond Reed from Just Rover fame, and Raphael Alejandro, who was in that Mark Wahlberg Instant Family a couple years ago. They star as four high school freshmen who navigate the terrors of adolescence at the first ever party. Among these rounded cast, it also includes Bobby Cannavale coming off of Odaz, Kathan Olsen from It's Always Sunny fame, Scott McGofter, Isabel Ferreira, Thomas Barbica. Now, this is also from the same people who gave us the show The Mech, which this, of course, has a couple of actors from The Mech. So I think this sounds like it'd be really fun and everything. I love The Mech. Like, if you guys never watched The Mech, it's on Netflix. They canceled it way too soon. That show was so hilarious, but. Now, also Netflix does great when it comes to animation content. So of course, Netflix does have some anime stuff to look forward to, including Escape from the Hat, Lika's desperate and magical rabbit rallies an unexpected band of allies and undertakes an impossible quest to escape from inside a magician's hat and defeating evil Black Cat as Leek returns to the human boy he dearly loves. This is directed by Kung Fu Panda director, or co-director, I should say, Mark Osborne, and an anime film about a magician. Could be interesting to check out. So that could be really cool. We also got a movie coming out called In Your Dreams, which is the adventures about Stevie and her brother Ellie, who magically travels into the world of dreams with the mission of finding the Sandman, who will grant them ultimate wish, saving their parents' marriage. So that definitely sounds like being interesting to check out. I mean, an anime film about the Sandman, okay, that could be really cool. So hopefully that could be interesting. For all you SpongeBob fans, we got Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. Now, I still find odd that this is going to Netflix rather than Paramount Plus. But of course, coming in 2025, we do got a SpongeBob film coming to theatrical. But before we get that, there is some SpongeBob stuff coming out. Now, this is interesting because it's also directed by Eliza Johnson, who's not really known for kids' movies. She's directed the Linda Cardellini film Return, the Haley Steinfeld film, Kristen Wiig film Hate Shit Love Ship, and Elvis and Nixon, which had Kevin Spacey and Michael Shannon. And she's directed episodes of Barry, Last of Us, and American Horror Story. That's a bit of an odd director to direct a SpongeBob film. Technically, this is not really this is not really centering around SpongeBob. This actually centers around Sandy Cheeks, who's of course the astronaut helmet wearing a squirrel from the SpongeBob universe. When Bikini Bottom is scooped out of the ocean, Sandy and SpongeBob head to Sandy's home state of Texas and enlist her family to help save Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, and the rest of the gang. I don't know. This could be interesting. I mean, I'm not really like the world's biggest SpongeBob guy, but I actually don't mind the SpongeBob movies. I'm kind of weird with SpongeBob. Like the SpongeBob show, I can never really fully get into. I mean, I've seen the episodes here and there, but it was never like a cartoon that really grabbed towards me. But I actually don't mind the films at all. And I don't know. This could be interesting to see. And I even always quite enjoyed Sandy Cheeks. Like even if I'm not a SpongeBob guy, I still don't mind Sandy. So a story about her piques my interest. So maybe it could be cool. All right, we also got an anime film called Spellbound, which was supposed to be a anime film for Appa, but Netflix scooped it up. Which hey, Netflix is always saving anime content, you know. Of course, they saved Nimona and now Spellbound. Hey, maybe they could save Coyote versus Acme. Who knows? But anyway, now here's what Spellbound is about. It is a musical anime comedy directed by Shrek co-director Vicky Jensen. Got a couple of movies here from directors of past DreamWorks films. Pretty cool. And it features the music by Alan Menken, who also has done I believe it's actually his first like anime film. He's like non-Disney film. He's doing music for. He's of course best known for doing music for Little Mermaid and all. Now here's what the film's about. Set in the world of magic known as Liberia, the story follows Princess Elaine, a young girl who must break the spell that has split her kingdom in two. Now, the voice talent includes Rachel Zegler, along with Nicole Kidman, Javier Bardem, John Lithgow, Nathan Lane, and boy, I just mentioned Rachel Zegler. Oh boy, I could imagine the trolls right now being like, "Oh, I'm not excited. I'm not looking forward for this." Sadly, I feel like when this movie comes out, there's going to be loads of trolls that are just going to dislike this film no matter if they've seen it or not. Because, they just don't like Rachel Zegler for some reason. I mean, because she made, no, I don't know. It's a shame. Because I think Rachel Zegler is awesome. I don't like, yeah, she said something about Snow White. Come on, people. Like, it's her pennon. But, hey, people just get triggered so easily. I mean, it's a shame. This poor girl could probably save children from burning building, and people still hate on Rachel Zegler. It's sad, but it is what it is, I guess. All right, we also got another anime film coming called That Christmas, which is written by Love Actually writer Richard Curtis. It follows a series of intertwined tales about love and loneliness, family and friends, and Santa Claus making a big mistake, not to mention an enormous number of turkeys. Now, this is from Locksmith Animation, who also did that anime film Ron's Gone Wrong, which was pretty good. So I think this could be interesting to check out. I'm curious to see who the voice talent is going to be. Like, I don't think we really have voice cast for That Christmas or in Your Dreams or Escape from Hat yet, so curious to see who his voice is going to be. We also got another anime film coming called Delma the Unicorn, which is from the same people who did that Netflix film Wish Dragon. Now here's what it's about. She rises to the international stardom, but an unexpected cost. After a while, Delma realizes that she was happier as her ordinary sparkle free self. So this is gonna be like a music, like an American Idol based music anime film. Between this and Death of a Unicorn, we're in the year of the unicorn here, huh? But anywho, yeah, this could be cool to check out. Now, for all you anime fans, there are a couple of animes coming out as well, like Ultraman Rising, which is based on the iconic anime of Ultraman. The Witcher, Sirens of the Deep, which is another Witcher anime series, and this one I do like the sound of K-pop Demon Hunters. A Korean music group leads a secret life as demon hunters. That's it. Out of those three I just mentioned, between like The Witcher, Sirens of the Deep, Ultraman Rising, this one sounds really cool. So, can you imagine like Blackpink, actually becoming demon hunters? Boy, somewhere, Robert Meyer Burnett just gaps right there. So, all right. We also got an untitled Wallace and Gromit film coming. Hey, after Shaun the Sheep, not Shaun the Sheep, Chicken Run 2, I'm down for another Armin film from them. We also got The Shrinking of Treehorn, which is set to be directed by Ron Howard and follows a young man who begins shrinking in size after playing a strange board game, which goes largely unnoticed by his parents. So that could be really cool. Definitely sounding a little bit like Ant-Man or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, so could be interesting to see. Now we also got a couple of action movies coming to Netflix, like we got Havoc from the director of the Raid films. It stars Tom Hardy, Forrest Whitaker, Luis Guzman, Timothy Oliphant, and Justin Cornwell. After a drug deal goes AWOL, a detective must fight his way through a criminal underworld to rescue the politician's estranged son while entangling the city's dark webs of conspiracy and corruption. So that could be really cool. I mean, if you guys ever seen the Raid movies, those are really fun to check out. Very fun, very entertaining, very violent. Will this be as good as those? Who knows? We also got a movie called Monkey Man, which is being described as John Wick set in India. So you already piqued my interest there. It stars Dev Patel and Charlotte Copley. Patel also directs the film here. A recently released ex-felon living in India struggles to adjust a world of corporate greed and eroding on spiritual values. So that could be interesting to check out. Dev Patel as an action star could be cool. I've always liked Dev Patel. Always glad to see his career always flying. We also got a film called Trigger Warning, starring Jessica Alba, a traumatized veteran who inherits her grandfather's bar and faces a moral dilemma after learning the truth behind his untimely death. So, I don't know, that could be interesting to see, but Jessica Alba's career could be a little hit and miss sometimes. So, we also got The Mothership. Now, I feel like I've been talking about this film for a while. Like, this was actually a movie that was, first, I believe this thing was first announced back in, 2021 or something. Because I remember, a couple years back, they dropped, a little tease, when Netflix dropped this, little tease of films coming out in, I believe, 2022. And this was one of the films that they showed a preview for. So I feel like this has been in the pipeline forever. Now, if you guys don't know much about The Mothership, it stars Halle Berry, which that piques my interest there, Molly Parker, Omari Hardwick for all you Power fans. 1 year after her husband mysteriously vanishes from her rural farm, single mother Sarah Morris and her children discover a strange extraterrestrial object underneath their home, which leads them to embark on a race to find their husband, father, and most importantly, the truth. That could be a dream to check out. We also got, for all you Russo Brothers fans, we got The Electric State, which, of course, this is, Russo Brothers' next Netflix film following The Gray Man. I don't know when we're getting the sequels, but this does star Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, Ki Hu Kwan, Stanley Tucci, Jason Alexander, Brian Cox, Anthony Mackie, Billy Bob Thornton, Giancarlo Esposito. Talk about great cast here. A girl is sent by a robot to look for her missing brother, and with it, she sets out to find him. And if I have to take a wild guess, Chris Pratt is voicing the robot because he voiced lots of anime characters nowadays. So I don't know. This could be interesting to see. Really nice to see the Russo brothers branching out, post Endgame. So I'm hoping this could be the next hit, but we'll see. Now, a film I'm not all that excited for. We got Atlas, starring Jennifer Lopez, coming off of The Mother, which was terrible. A bleak sounding future where an AI soldier has determined that the only way to end war is to end humanity. This is directed by Brad Anderson, who did movies such as Rampage, San Andreas, Cassie Dogs 2. So I don't know. Jennifer Lopez's last two movies did not do anything for me. I really want to see do another Oscar contender like she did with Hustlers, or Hustlers, I should say, or maybe Selena. She has acting chops. Like with the right script, she could do some really cool acting there. But anyway, there's also another action movie coming out called Carry On, which stars Taron Egerton, Jason Bateman, Sophia Carson, and is directed by Black Adam director John Sarah. A mysterious traveler blackmailed Ethan Kopecks, a young TSA agent, to let a dangerous package slip through security and onto a Christmas Day flight. So maybe the next Die Hard. I could totally see this being the next Die Hard, where people think it's a Christmas film where it only just takes place at Christmas, has nothing to do with Christmas. So this could easily be Taron Egerton's Die Hard, like Die Hard on a plane, I guess. But I don't know, it could be cool here. All right, we also got Rebel Ridge, which is directed by Jeremy Saulnier, who gave us Green Room and Hold the Dark. It stars Aaron Pereira, Don Johnson, James Cromwell, Anna Sophia Robb, a high-velocity thriller that explores systematic American injustice, true bone-breaking action sequences, suspense, and dark humor. So that could be really cool there. If you guys ever seen Green Room, that's a really decent little horror flick. All right, speaking of Halle Berry, we also got The Human, which stars Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry, along with J.K. Simmons and Mike Coulter. A construction worker is roped into an espionage world by his former high school girlfriend. Now, of course, Mark Wahlberg has a nice relationship with Netflix. They did that on Special Confidential, which was pretty good. The movie Me Time he did with Kevin Hart. So this is another film they got coming. I mean, Halle Berry and Mark Wahlberg teaming up together, that could be cool. So it could be interesting to say. All right. Now, of course, Netflix always loves Oscar bait. So obviously this past year, my show's getting Oscar love. Rustin's getting some Oscar buzz. But here are some of the films that I think could maybe be some of the Netflix's like Oscar baits coming next in 2025. We got Shirley, which is a biopic about the historical presidential campaign, and it's based on the first ever Black presidential candidate, Shirley Chisholm. This, of course, stars. This actually stars Regina King, and maybe it could be her next Oscar, following If Beyoncé Could Talk. So it could be cool. We got The Piano Lesson, which is set in 1936 Pittsburgh during the aftermath of the Great Depression. The Piano Lesson, which is based on a Tony Award-winning play, follows the lives of the Charles family in the Doker Charles household and the heirloom, the family piano, which is decorated with designs carved by an enslaved ancestor. The cast in this is insane. We got John David Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, Ray Fisher, Danielle Deadwire, Corey Hawkins, Gail Bain, Stephan James. I mean, talk about a great cast there. So I'm definitely excited for those. And maybe Sam Jackson will finally get his first ever Oscar. I know he got an honorary Oscar, but I'm talking about for acting. But I don't know. We'll see. Now we also got a couple of films that premiered at TIFF recent that got picked up by Netflix. We got His Three Daughters, which is directed by the Lovers director Ezell Jacobs and stars Carrie Coon, Elizabeth Olsen, and Natasha Lyonne. And it's about sisterhood drama depicting three estranged sisters compelled to reunite to care for their ailing father. So that could be interesting to see. This, of course, got some rave reviews, so hopefully, it'll be interesting there. We got a movie coming from Richard Linklater called Hitman. Not to be confused with the video game, but it stars Glenn Powell, Audrey Arjona, and it stars Glenn Powell, both of whom, of course, I wrote the screenplay. Here it's based on a magazine article of the same name, uh, and it's about an undercover Houston police officer poses as a reliable hitman as he tries to save a woman in need. Now, of course, Richard Linklater had a little bit of a relationship with Netflix because he did do that Apollo 10 and a half movie, which was pretty good. So hopefully this will be his next terrific one. You got Glenn Powell, who coming off of Anyone But You. I think this dude's terrific. Audra Arjona coming off of Andor. I think she's amazing. This could be interesting to check out. We also got a film called Woman of the Year, which this one really piques my interest here. Uh, it's based on a true story it's based on the life of serial killer Ronnie Aleka, who in 1978 appeared on the television show The Dating Game in the midst of his murder spree. The film revolves around the events of the game show and stars Anna Kendrick as contestant Cheryl Bradshaw. And of course, Anna Kendrick also directs this film too. This did premiere at, I believe, the Toronto National Film Festival and was scooped up by Netflix. This sounds really fascinating. I mean, I remember hearing this story about this. It is crazy to believe how this guy was able to just get on the game show. I mean, obviously he wasn't arrested at the time. Like, before he was on the game show, he wasn't arrested because he didn't really have any background checks. And I think at the time it was really hard. She didn't have the best technology to check out background checks on people. So it's crazy how he was able to get away with this. But lucky that the last girl he went on a date with survived. So I don't know. Netflix is great when it comes to true crime stories. So hopefully this one could be cool. All right. We also got some other stuff like Resbor, which is about a Native American high school basketball team from Chuska, New Mexico, competing for the state championship. Tied up but lose their star player. I love a good true story underdog film. That could be cool. This is supposed to also feature Amber McDunder coming off of Prey. LeBron James is a producer, so this do pique my interest there. We got a film called The Beautiful Game, which stars Bill Nye, Michael Ward, Kit Young, and is directed by Me Before You director Dia Sharrock. The squad of an English homeless football players, including the talented but troubled striker Vinny, played by Ward, all led by their coach Mal, played by Bill Nye, to compete in Rome at the global annual football tournament, the Homeless World Cup. That sounds like it'd be interesting. A very, and we got basketball and a football film on this list. Pretty cool there. Now we also got a true story film called Scoop. Now, this is the dramatic retelling of the process of securing the 2019 BBC interview of Prince Andrew by presenter and journalist Emily Matalose and the production team of BBC Two News and current affairs program Newsnight. Now, we got Gillian Anderson of Rufus Swell, Keely Howells. So, Rufus Wells also played Prince Andrews. He's always an underrated actor. Like, he was in The Knight's Tale. He's been some other cool stuff here and there. Really good underrated actor here. Of course, do we really need a story like this? Maybe not, but hey. Yeah, we were already seeing, we didn't really need a story about, like, the Harvey Weinstein thing, but of course, She Said was really excellent. This could be the next bombshell. Remember that one with Charles Theron? So maybe this could be interesting, but we'll see. Now, Tyler Perry also has some Netflix stuff coming out this year as well. He has 6888, which is based on a true story and showcases the contributions of the 6888 Central Postal Dictionary battle line, an all-black and all-female battle line in World War II. The cast of this is insane. We're talking the likes of Kerry Washington, Oprah Winfrey, Susan Sarandon, Sam Waterston, the girl from who was in the Charm reboot, Sarah Jeffrey, I think his name is. We also have Greg Sulkin, Dean Norris. Got some cool cast members here. Tyler Perry has a great relationship with Netflix. He did that the last Medea movie for Netflix. He's done some other stuff here and there. So, of course, he is actually doing stuff for Amazon as well because he striked like a multi-picture deal for Amazon. So, I guess these are the last two films he's doing for Netflix. He has another one coming out called Copa, which stars Kelly Rowland and Moonlight star Trevante Rose. It follows an ambitious criminal defense attorney that in his inspiration to be named partner takes on the murder case of an artist. So that could be interesting. I mean, I'm always glad to see Tyler Perry doing stuff outside of Persona. Like, obviously, I always love when he does Medea, and sometimes his other stuff could not work. Like Acrimony was garbage. That one he did with Kim Kardashian, yeah, that was terrible. But I actually did not mind that Single Moms Club. I actually liked the one he did with Idris Elba, Daddy's Logan, I think it was called. He's done some other cool stuff. So maybe this will be the next one of those, or it could be another Acrimony. Who knows? All right. We also got a couple of not many horrors here. I'm pretty sure we're not going to get another Fear Street until next year. Fingers crossed we get another Babysitters movie. But some horror films we do have coming. The Deliverance, directed by Lee Daniels, who gave us The Butler and Precious. A family living in a home in Indiana discovers strange demonic occurrences that convince them and the community that the house is a portal to HE double hockey sticks. It stars Andra Day, Monique. Of course, she won her Oscar for Precious. I don't think she's gonna win her Oscar for this, but hey, I see Monique coming back because I mean I know she said some dumb stuff at the times, but hey, she was great at Precious. So I'm glad to see her make a little bit of comeback here. You also got Kelly McLaughlin, Omar Epps, Tasha Smith, Miss Lawrence, Demi Singleton. So I don't know, this could be interesting to check out. Lee Downs doing a horror film like this. That's something I never knew I needed, but could be cool. Now I feel like I've been talking about this one for a while, but we got a horror film called Time Cut, which is supposed to be like a back to feature meets Scream. Which hey, we just had one with with Amazon, so which was Totally Killer. So will this be as good as Totally Killer? I don't know. But here's what's about. A high school student accidentally travels back to 2003 and decides to stop the serial killer who murdered her sister. The film stars includes Jeannie and Georgia star Antonia Gentry, Madison Bailey from Outer Banks fame, and Summer H. Howe, who you might know as Alice from Curse of Chucky. So I don't know. This could be really cool. I mean, I do love a good slasher film, and hey, you say Scream meets Back to the Future, that piques my interest right there. So after Totally Killer, I'm down for another another slasher time travel film. Is it gonna be as good as Totally Killer? I don't know, but I'm aware. Now we also get now some stuff that might come out this year. Who knows? We of course got Below, which is directed by Shazam director David F. Sandberg. We're fresh out of prison, out of a spell in prison. A man attempts to set his life right by working on a mysterious job that requires him to seek out life forms hidden amongst us. That could be cool. I mean, nice to see David F. Sandberg coming back to the horror genre. Following Shazam. Of course, he did like Lights Out and About Creation. So I cannot wait to see what else he does in the horror spirit. Now, I don't know if this is really coming out because of because of what happened on set and stuff. We got a movie coming out called Back in Action, which is directed by Horrible Bosses director Seth Gordon and returns to talent of Cameron Diaz with Jamie Foxx, Glenn Close, Andrew Scott, and Kyle Chandler. I don't know if this is yet going to come out this year because if you guys don't know, last year Jamie Foxx did suffer a heart attack, and I don't know how far like of shooting they got with this because I know they were still shooting, but I think they were like using a body like a double or something like that to shoot like Jamie Foxx's scene. So it could slip in. Could she come out this year? I don't know because I'm not 100% sure how far Jamie Foxx got in the process, and obviously production most likely got halted because of the strike. So I really don't know if like they continue shooting. I hope they do because I do want to see Cameron Diaz back on screen because I've I've always had a crush on her ever since The Mask. Come on, so I just want to see Cameron Diaz back on screen because crazy to believe this year will literally be 10 years since Cameron Diaz's last film, which was Annie. So hopefully we get to see her Cameron Diaz back. Now, other ones that could maybe slip in, Adam Sandler's the next Adam Sandler Safi film. They might not shoot that until later this year or early this year. No, Baumbach has a film coming with Adam Sandler and George Clooney. I don't know which one's going to come out first. I don't know if Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein's going to make its release. They all set to shoot that in February, but I don't know if we'll be able to make its like late 2024 release. But anything's possible, I guess. There is word that like the Kiss biopic could come out, but I don't think that's coming out this year. Hopefully next year because I want to see a biopic about Kiss. But that is pretty much it there. Let me let you guys. What are some films coming out this year on Netflix that you're excited for? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Henry Simon.